This is not financial advice, it's just the wine talking.
Welcome back to It's Just the Wine. I'm your host, Matilda. Joining me today is Melissa, Tal, and Gassia, and we have a special guest, Stephanie. Today we're going to talk about spirituality, mindset, and everything in between.
Do you guys know the 7 layers of why?
No.
So to really understand why you do something or why you think the way you think, it's 7 layers deep. So usually the first 2, 3 whys, have you heard of that?
Yeah, I have.
It's like a known thing. It's called 7 layers deep.
You know, I've used, sorry to cut you off, I've used this when I overthink. So when I overthink, I ask myself, why am I overthinking 7 times?
Yeah.
That it brings me to the bigger picture to say, this is not worth overthinking.
Exactly.
And that's one of the ways that has helped me.
I think I've heard, like, why am I doing this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then why?
And then why?
So then at the end you're like, okay, it's not worth it.
Yeah, I've heard of this.
But I'm using it in my overthinking.
So what's the difference between chasing wealth and being open to receiving abundance?
Okay. The energy, once again. I feel like chasing comes from the energy of a lack. So when you're chasing something, it's because you lack it. And I believe that if in your belief system you feel like you're lacking something, then that's the energy you're putting out and it's harder to receive.
I honestly believe in that. Yeah. Because I'm cutting you, but I struggled a lot in finding a job and what I want to do. So I was confused, and I feel like I put so much energy and so much so much stress on myself for something that would come to me eventually. I'm still young. I'm grateful to still live at my parents' house. You know, they didn't kick me out yet. But I totally believe in what you just said.
Like, just a very basic example that I can give that everyone goes through is, let's say, remember sometimes you have a thought and then the thought escapes you and you try to think about it. You're like, what did I want to do? What did I want to do? What did I want to do? And the more you think about it, the less you can remember. And the second you let go and you're like, it'll just come to me, and you start doing something else, you're like, I remember.
Yeah.
It's because the act of letting go, of surrendering, kind of reopens that path of receiving.
Yeah.
So when you're chasing, you're going after something, it's like you're creating that blockage, versus when you just let go and allow things to flow, you're kind of opening back that flow of energy for things to come, like abundance to come to you.
Yeah, it's like when you go up the stairs to should I forget something, you go up and you forget what you're looking for, and I just walk around, you know, and it
just comes back.
Yeah, it comes back.
Chasing kind of puts out a negative energy.
Exactly.
Because, like you said, it's the lack of something, and now you're saying, I don't have this, but I want this, but you're starting with a negative thought.
Yeah.
Versus abundance is more of a positive energy.
Correct. Like when we're talking about money, let's say if you say, I want money, I need money, it's like you're putting out the energy that you're chasing money because you lack it. Versus when you say, right now I have all the money I need, even if you don't have it a lot, but if that's the energy you're putting into, like, you just truly make yourself believe that at this stage of your life, you're able to pay, let's say, your bills, you're able to do whatever you need to do, and you just go in the energy of, I have everything I need and more is always welcome, then you're opening up the door for abundance versus saying, I want, I need, and I'm in lack. Same for relationships. Like, I want a man, and then you just like go and you say,
you're so right on that point. But imagine you're saying, I want an X amount, and you're working towards that, it'll eventually happen. So you're kind of opening that door as well because you're working for it.
Yeah, but sometimes they also say that instead of saying, I want X amount, you kind of say, it's like all words, because you know, spelling, putting the spell out there, depends to which extent you believe in it. But instead of saying like, I want $1 million, let's say, the $1 million is on the way. It's just really how you word it and how you see things.
So you think that if you put out there an X amount, if let's say I write down that I want an X amount by the end of the year, you believe that it won't happen because I put it out there?
Yeah, because you're wanting instead of saying I want X amount, try to write or find ways that will allow you to get to that X amount.
Okay, so saying want specifically will cut the energy.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's like I want my income to increase by X amount.
Yeah.
Will make it happen.
Not necessarily. Like, how can you increase that? How can you increase the income? Focus on how you can increase it, not on the result, like not on the outcome, on the way of getting to the outcome.
Okay.
Interesting.
So how would that be applied if I'm setting goals for myself? Like by 40, I need this, I want this, these are my goals.
Yeah.
By 50,
so instead of I want, it's I have.
Oh.
Okay. So like by 40, I will have a mansion. I will have 2 kids. I will have this. I will have gone on 10 trips. It's like affirming like it already happened instead of wanting.
But a lot of books mention that instead of just writing the statement down, also write down how you're gonna achieve it.
No, how you're gonna feel. So the law of manifestation or attraction, a lot of people say that, you know how people do vision boards and stuff, like it's nice. But if you really want it to work, and if you like, I don't know if do you guys know Joe Dispenza?
You would not do the vision board and work for it anyway.
You have to feel it. So I don't know if do you guys know Joe Dispenza?
No.
Okay. So basically,
you were talking to him about him
the other time because I just love the way he writes things. He talks about things, so because it's very common nowadays that people talk about the law of attraction, the law of manifestation. If you want something, ask for it, you will get it. But there's a very important component that a lot of people put aside, is how you feel in your body. So your mind doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's not. Okay? So if you're thinking something, you're naturally automatically feeling it. So in order for the law of attraction or manifestation to work, how can I explain this very simply? In order for it to work, you have to also attach emotion to it. And it's you kind of have to brainwash your own self into believing that.
I think I was telling you about how when I'm gonna write an exam, before even passing the exam,
you feel like you're gonna pass.
I feel what's gonna happen right after the exam. I'm in my car yelling like I passed this exam, and I feel it in every part of my body, making sure that I'm gonna pass.
Yeah. So you're attaching emotion to the outcome, and that's when it works.
Yeah.
If not, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
You can't just say I'm gonna pass my exam, and inside feel that you're gonna fail.
That's why whenever I try to feel, when I feel the negative energy coming to me that it might not work, automatically thrown out.
Yeah.
I don't know if you believe in that, but
I do believe in that.
because we've had a lot of debates on this.
We have very different views on a lot of things.
So interesting.
But I do believe on the emotion side of it. I think we talked about it on our episode last week where I said, when you have a vision of what you want your life to be, when you have like what's a perfect Tuesday for you, not like I want to go on this vacation, I want to own a jet, not that. What do you want to do on a Tuesday? That's emotional. That's when you believe that to your core, then it's gonna happen. I do believe that. But I'm also a bit weird. There's some things like I don't believe in karma, and maybe like what you said kind of makes sense to me, where I don't make the connection because I don't.
And that's why you don't believe it.
Yeah, because I don't care about things. Like there's very little things I care about, and the things that I care about, I deeply care about. But just on the surface, there's a lot of things that like
just passes by through your life.
Yeah, I don't pay attention to a lot of things, and that's just the way I function. So what you said, I've never thought about what you said, where I'm just not making the connection. That's why I don't believe in it, because I think it doesn't happen to me.
But the reason why
it probably does, I just don't see it.
The reason why I overanalyze things is because it's in me to analyze things. So that's why I analyze every single thing and part of my life. That's why I overthink excessively, because I'm analyzing the thought to a certain extent.
What about you?
Yeah, I believe it. Do you tell?
Yeah, I do. I mean, has it happened to me? I don't know.
You gotta be more self-aware.
What do you mean when you say it hasn't happened to me? Because maybe also words have different definitions for everyone. So karma could mean something to me, to you, to you.
Yeah.
And maybe in your head, karma is what we see like in movies or in books and stuff. So it would be interesting to know how you define karma in order to say it hasn't happened to me. Because some people, like, we use karma in a way that it's like it's a common word nowadays, right? It's like when someone says, oh, he's depressed, or things like that. Like, some words are used in a very general way, but each person defines it differently. So it would be, maybe I define karma differently than you.
Yeah.
What's karma for you?
For me, karma is whatever you give out comes back to you, whether good or bad. So I feel like it's not something to believe in. For me, it's not something you believe in or not. It's just something that happens.
Like talking
Like, it's not a belief.
Yeah.
For me, it's just like a natural course of things. It's like one of the laws of the universe. There's like 12 laws of the universe, and I feel like it's part of one of the laws of the universe. Just like everything exists in polarity. So there's no light without darkness. There's no love without hate. There's no good without bad. So for me, it's not like a belief system. It's like it exists whether you want to believe in it or not. That's how I see it.
Wait, I have a question. Do you believe in manifestation?
I do.
She said it earlier.
I do.
The Tuesday thing.
Yeah, I do believe in manifestation, but I also believe in things happen when they're supposed. This is what if you want to know what I believe in, I think things happen when they're supposed to happen at the time that it's meant to happen. And I say this to you all the time. And
She does.
and that's just how it's supposed to be. So in my mind, I do believe I believe my manifestation that I do about my own life, especially financially, is already meant to happen. What I don't know is when it's gonna happen, because I don't know the timing, but I know it's gonna happen.
I know, but when you're put in a room, when you put yourself in a room, certain things can happen to you. And the reason why those things happen to you is because you put yourself in that room. You understand?
Okay.
It's not because it was time for it to happen.
I was meant to be in that room.
No, but you go in that room.
Because I was meant to go there.
So,
for example, I'll give you a personal example. You girls know, most people don't know, I applied to law school to start in September. I didn't get it. I believe it's because I wasn't meant to get it. Because now we're doing something else, and I believe it's because I'm supposed to focus on that. And maybe at some point I'll reapply, maybe at some point I will get in, but when I got the decision letter saying that I wasn't admitted, I was disappointed. I was like, shit, okay. But it was about, I called you, and you were sadder than I was, and
she started overthinking.
No, I didn't say it's because it's not meant to be.
But for me, it's because it wasn't the right time. And as like the months passed since that rejection letter, it's been proven that it's not the right. Can you imagine me going to law school in a month or two with everything else going on? So I think things happen when they're supposed to happen and when it's meant to happen. So I don't know. I think we're getting off topic. This is getting deeper than I thought it would.
What daily or weekly spiritual habits can help maintain a healthy money mindset?
Budgeting.
Oh, Mel's favorite.
I used to not budget, and I believe that if you budget your expenses, even as small as they are, it kind of becomes like a spiritual practice, because whatever you're doing consistently can be considered like a spiritual practice. But basically creating an Excel sheet and just writing down what you're spending, the money coming in, the money coming out, and kind of having an idea of your monthly spendings can really allow you to develop your financial literacy and understand how money works, where the money is going, and how to make more or less of it. So I really feel like it's an important thing that a lot of people don't do, and it's not thought of, like, no one teaches you how to do it. You kind of have to teach yourself how to do it. But I feel like at the basis of it, like bookkeeping, just like people do bookkeeping or accounting in businesses, I believe that everyone should have like a bookkeeping sheet in their personal life.
Yeah,
I believe
that's
And
it.
it is a spiritual practice at the end of the day.
It's Just the Wine has a great budgeting template that's
Oh, yeah?
available for purchase.
Yeah.
I love that.
Well, I think Gassia just started.
Because I was very bad. Like I didn't budget at all. And this year, you know, I told, because my husband, that was my biggest problem. So every month he would say, Gus, what's your credit card at? I'm like, oh, it's fine, it's good, you know. And then I promised that this year I'm gonna behave, and I've been like,
But she made
I've been so much better. Like honestly, I'm not as stressed as I was, and like you said, like I'm more at ease.
Yeah.
Aware.
Aware, and yeah.
It feels good to know where your money is going, and it feels good to know that, let's say you have an X amount to spend a month, that you can spend it without
Feeling guilt.
exactly.
So, what is one piece of advice you would give to your younger self? Just one.
Okay, there's many, but the one that comes to mind intuitively is just to like trust the process. Stop over worrying, stop overthinking, stop over analyzing everything, and just trust the process.
Noted.
That things will unravel the way they're supposed to, and things will work out the way they're meant to.
Cheers to that.
Cheers to that.
Cheers. That is a great piece
Yeah.
of advice. So to conclude our episode, we asked this one specific question to all of our guests. What does financial freedom mean to you?
Financial freedom to me means that when your passive income pays all the bills. So basically, it's when you reach the level where you don't need to work, so you don't need to show up to work in order for your bills to be paid, and some. So not only your bills are paid through the passive income, but also you can spend a bit without feeling guilty or feeling bad. I feel like that would be my definition of financial freedom.
Love that.
Yeah.
Cheers to that.
Cheers to that.
Cheers. Well, it was great having you.
Thanks for having me. It was a lot of fun.
I think we learned a lot about ourselves. And,
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna start journaling.
I'm gonna do that exercise too.
Chapters, here I come.
I want your first pages, okay? If it's not too personal.
So, like, subscribe, comment down below.
See you next week.
See you
And
next
follow
week.
our guests.
Yes.